Alright, so today I figured I would do a bit of an update video because I've been super busy this summer so far and haven't really had time to get around to a whole lot of other types of videos. So yeah, I'm just going to go over some of the projects I've got in the works. So first I think I'm going to talk about what I've spent all of my money on this year. Right here we have the Apple set-top box. This is a fairly useless piece of hardware, but it is exceedingly rare these days, and I think I spent around just under $300 Canadian to buy this one, and my hopes are to figure out how to get the video working on it, because this is something that nobody has figured out yet. There's software kicking around that I've tried on boot volumes and still nothing. So that's going to be one of my projects to work on. I bought one of those flash ROMs as well for the Macintosh, so I need to pick up a ROM burner, and I'm going to try messing around with, I don't know, just different ROMs from other Macintosh computers, seeing if I can get anything with it. But I did try, when I bought the flash ROM, I requested they put the AV ROM from a Quadra on it. And I tried it in here thinking that it might do something, but nope, doesn't do anything at all. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, when I figure out more about that unit, there will be a video. So that might be a while in the future though, so who knows. Another thing I spent a lot of money on is the Macintosh Quadra 700. This popped up from a recycler in Calgary that I've purchased a few computers from before. And the price was less than any other one on eBay, and the actual physical quality of it is pretty good. So I think I spent, I think it was just under $300 Canadian for this one as well. So yeah, I basically just impulse bought it. And what I'm doing with it now is it's my dedicated workstation for AUX. Inside the unit I've got a SCSI to SD, RAM upgrade. Just for fun, I think I threw a Nubus token ring card in there and other stuff like that. I've been using that computer to just kind of like a testing ground for AUX and to write some wiki information about the operating system and stuff. So yeah, at some point in the future I will do a video specifically on that, kind of like an update to my last AUX video. In other news, I did buy a lot of Macintosh stuff from a guy local to me who was moving. So, let's just see what I've got here. Got a 12-inch Apple RGB monitor. Got another one of these CRTs from like the LC 475 days. I remember using one of those in school. Then I had to buy some more plastic bins. So I've got tons of ADB crap in there. I got mice, I got phonet connectors, another bin in there with some keyboards in there. Some small bins I'm picking up for some of the miscellaneous items. Still got a couple keyboards, network cards, various Mac stuff. So that's some of the loose items. I've already put some of these bins that I've got in storage. So there was numerous loose items, but I actually did get a lot of computers from him as well. One I've got right now out here this is a Macintosh 2 SI. I pulled its power supply, which is why it's sitting over here, because I think the power supply is dead. So I've got a spare that I'm going to try in that unit and see if it works. So yeah, as you can see, my workspace is completely full of crap. So I don't really have a whole lot of room to deal with this stuff right now. Like I've got more loose stuff, RAM, network cables, various cards. And as I go through all of this stuff that I've been buying, I also take pictures for my vintage computing wiki, so it takes a while to clear all this stuff out doing that process. So yeah. Oh, so I've got two PowerMac 6100s. This one I got from that guy, so I need to recap that, do some other repairs. Up here, the LC475 is my video game capture machine. I had that out of my workspace to do some work on, so yeah, haven't had any time to do videos from that machine. But right above it, there's, let's see, two LC motherboards and I think an LC 550 or 520 motherboard. Got to recap those. Those were spare boards and stuff from the purchase. Also on this shelf, I don't know if I mentioned it before, I've got this compact computer, or compact, no, it's a Commodore. It's like an 8088 or 8086, I forget what it is exactly, but I picked that up in Vancouver. I think it was just after the winter, or maybe it was last year. You know, I don't even remember, but it may actually have shown up in the background of some of my other videos, but I've never mentioned it before, so that's a project for the future. So if we start off down at the bottom of my new shelving units, just a quick look. Like, I've actually got a lot of stuff up here now. I'll go over that in a moment, but so down here, the Power Macintosh 7100. I was hoping to pick one of these up for in time for my Copeland video, but I didn't. And after I had uploaded the Copeland video to YouTube, I actually tried Copeland on this machine. There's one release in particular that I couldn't get to boot properly at all, and it didn't boot on this system either. So I still have no idea what the problem is, and I was hoping this hardware might work with it, but maybe not. Yep, anyway, let's see. I got miscellaneous stuff, like I got like Apple branded CD-ROMs. I have an LC2, an LC3. Both of these have been recapped, so they're just kind of on my shelf for future videos whenever I figure out what I'm going to do with them. Somewhere back here, this is a Tandy laptop, like a Tandy 1800 or something like that. That was part of the pile of Mac stuff that I bought. You also had a bunch of like Nubus cards in here. There's like some sort of video card, a network card, other miscellaneous cards. So that's like a small amount of the stuff that I picked up from them. I also saved a bunch of PC boards from recycling. Somewhere in here is like a Socket 7 board, and then there's a couple server boards, like Pentium 3s or something. I don't really remember. But one other interesting item that he had, the Motorola StarMax. It's a Macintosh clone. This is a pretty neat machine, and when I saw it in the pile of Macs he had for sale, I was like, alright, I need to buy that for sure. Got it home, plugged it in, it turned on, booted off a stock install of the custom OS that was for this. Well, maybe not necessarily custom, but it was like the original Motorola branded one, so it's got like a Motorola background and stuff like that. But after I turned off the computer, it hasn't turned back on since. So I think I may have blown the power supply just by using it. So I gotta do a project on that, rip it all apart, try to repair it. Anyway, if we look further up here, this is the two LC computers that I've got the boards out of from my other shelf. So when they're finished recapping, I'll figure out what I'm going to do with those, because I already have another LC before this, so now I have 3 in total. I don't really need 3. I might sell one of them. I don't know. There's a lot of big box software that I picked up from him too. I think some of the stuff like Xtree Gold, PC DOS, Turbo C++, PC Tools. So those are ones that he had in a software pile. But the first time I went there, he had HyperCard, sealed copy of At Ease, this box here, the System 7 box, this box here, ClarisWorks, He had those sitting in a pile, and I was like, all right, how much do you want for these? And I think I was paying like $5 a pop for those, so very happy to add these to my software collection. And as you can see, I have actually picked up a large number of big box titles. I will be doing a video on these specifically once the last remaining items that I've ordered come in, because as you can see, I've pretty much run out of room entirely. So yeah, I've pretty much stopped my impulse buying of software, and my hope is that sometime in the future I will get around to doing specific videos on all these titles and trying them out on my vintage computers. So yeah, that'll be some point in the future. So if you're wondering what else I picked up from the guy who had all the Mac stuff, right down in here, this big computer down here, this is the Wang personal computer, or maybe it was called the Wang professional computer. I didn't really know what this thing was until I saw it sitting on the ground at his house. It's like an 8086 or 8088 based system. He has the whole thing, so up in this box here is like the monitor, and then one of these other boxes here is like a keyboard and mouse, or not a mouse, rather just a keyboard. It's all proprietary, so basically if you don't have the whole system, it's kind of useless. So I've got the entire thing, but it is a very large system, so I'm not keeping it for myself. Picked this up for a friend of mine who's going to come down and take it from me, because right now it's sitting on the floor of my living room, which is using up some space. And you'll see I also have all this other Mac stuff here. Well, this all came from the same guy. So I've got this fairly nice AV monitor, this AV CRT. It's got a plug that uses that custom port that the Power Macintosh uses here, this 6100. So the 6100, the CRT, this pair of LCs, and in this Compact Mac travel bag is another small one of those 12-inch RGB CRTs. This is basically all a bunch of stuff to help out my friend's vintage computing collection. So yeah, I mean, I've already got plenty of LCs and I don't really have room for even more CRTs, so yeah. So right now it's basically all just stacked up in my living room. So if you're wondering just exactly how much extra crap I have in like my storage and stuff, I've got these bins, and these are full of like expansion cards and everything in their own little static bags. Most of this stuff I have inventoried for my own personal museum, and I do have miscellaneous stuff that I'm trying to sell off. Like I've got so many mice and various things that like I don't need this many mice, so those will be going on eBay probably. If we look further in here though, like I got another bin full of random crap down there. Bins of more crap. And it just keeps on going. Like there's a couple more rows back there that you can't even see because there's just bins in the way all over the place. Somewhere back there I've got a big thing of Apple manuals, and hell, I think there's an old Cisco router back here. Who cares? Yeah, so this is basically like little storage area that's just kind of off my living room, and it's pretty much packed with just vintage computing crap. And I've actually got another one of these little storage areas on the other side of the living room. So I have even more crap in here. This is my Pentium 233 MMX. I've got a giant bin of like 3.5-inch discs and various things in there. And then these bins start up again. Various Mac components. You can see a phonet connector in there. Somewhere down there. Oh, I guess there's hard drives in that one. And it just keeps on going back there. Whole bunch of stuff. These ones I still have to go through and inventory all of them for my personal museum, because honestly, I sometimes forget exactly what I own. So I might be looking on something like a specific part on eBay, and I'll buy it, and then I'll actually come across the same part in my own house like a couple months later because I forgot I owned it. So yeah, that's one reason why I'm doing a full inventory of all of this crap. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, the closet in my bedroom is not filled with clothing, it's filled with computers. This is like a Compaq SLT 286. This is another one of those computers that I picked up from the guy who was getting rid of all his Mac stuff. So I had really nowhere else to put it, so I've shoved it in the closet here. Also in the closet, I've got the Texas Instruments TI-99. Picked up that from the same guy, and so that's now sitting here. And I've got little bins with various jewel case software and stuff like that. These used to be stored in the previously seen storage areas, but I ran out of room in there, so I had to shift these bins to somewhere else. So yeah, the closet has pretty much no clothing. It's all computer crap. So aside from the cramped working area that I've got here, another reason that I might find myself a little too busy to do videos is I picked up a Nikon D7200 camera. Picked this up earlier this year, and I've basically used this as an opportunity to learn photography. Before I had this camera, I was using this other one as my main camera, and I was using it essentially in the equivalent of the automatic mode. It just has these little dials here with little presets. And, you know, I took some shots, never really learned how photography works. So, yeah, and I figured that's something I want to get better at. So I bought this thing, and it forces you to learn how it works. So before this camera, I didn't really understand things like, well, I had general knowledge of like aperture, ISO, stuff like that, but I didn't really know like how it all worked together in a camera. So yeah, a lot of YouTube video watching and stuff like that. Been learning how to use this properly, and I've got a small collection of lenses and my filters back there, and a little shutter device there. And so far it's going pretty good. One thing I never really took a lot of interest in before is how to do proper composition for video, like for photos. I still think I'm not overly good at it, but whenever I do road trips, which is like almost on a weekly basis, I take the camera with me. So that's another reason why I might not be around to do videos a whole lot, is because in the summer I don't like being cooped up in my house. So I grab my camera, hop in my car, and I leave town. So it doesn't leave a whole lot of time to actually sit down and clean this crap up and do other videos and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, that's just a quick update of what I've got going on. I will try to get some more videos out in the near future. Anyway, thanks for watching.